All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Kodash. Also, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well in the scriptures, and salutations to all the brothers out there who push this word in all truth and in all sincerity. And we're just going to do a quick exhortation video on how, you're not supposed to get entangled with the affairs of this life, okay? Don't let, your woman, your children, your parents, your job, whatever it is, your business, hinder you from being in this truth, okay? All right? And, Satan's going to hop on. You got to remember that Satan's going to hop on these people to distract you from the main objective, the main goal, all right, which is, preaching, prophesying, being a man of the Lord, and getting into the kingdom ultimately, okay? So just remember that, And we'll start off with 2 Timothy 2:3. It says, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." So you're supposed to endure hardness, all right? Whatever comes your way, whatever the Lord puts in front of you. And there's a lot of things, all right? You're going to have marital problems. You're going to have financial problems. You're going to have issues in the brotherhood. You're going to have all sorts of things, come your way. You may have an ailment, okay? Physical problems, all right? But these things are just, tests. They're afflictions to ultimately just purify you. Okay, because that's all it is, really. The things that we, all the hardships that we go through is just to ultimately purify us so we can be more acceptable, so we can be acceptable to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because what does it say in that Sirach? What is that, 2 and 5? It says, acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity. That's right. All right? I got one more verse, Doc. It says, "No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life." Okay, so you're not supposed to, basically, in a sense, mix your worldly life with the truth. You know what I mean? You can't basically please the Most High and try to please Mammoth at the same time. Okay. You gotta serve one power. All right, and that should be Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Everything, your whole life revolves around Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Everything else, all right, from there, revolves around that. Everything else is secondary. Simple as that. Everything else is secondary. Okay.
And you know what? In this world, when things become secondary, that's how it's those things are controlled by Satan. Ultimately the Most High first. But when anything in life becomes secondary, it gets upset. That's not according to the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Especially when it comes to family. I say physical family because this is the real family, man. And the world, it tells these people the opposite. It tells you that you're supposed to fight to put this first, yada, yada, yada. But, in the Christian church, they'll still say that, oh, well, God is first, but they don't really do that. This comes first, man. Mm-hmm. You got to surround your mind around this. You have to discipline yourself to get closer to the Most High, which, greater discipline comes when you're alone. You're confined. And if you do have a family, a wife and kids and things like that, you have to definitely be like that. But at the same time, you have to come back and be able to govern them because you have to basically even be a bishop in your own house. Even if you don't have that office, you're supposed to be able to control things that are in your house. I remember me and this brother was talking about a certain situation that may have happened with a brother, the way it had seemed, because things gotten out of hand to where, you couldn't control your demon, and your demons is doing things outside, and brothers start to notice. Although we don't get into people's relationships or anything like that, that's against the scripture, man. But for the most part, if a brother's about to fall off, you gotta let him know, man, because it says that he that contends with small things shall fall away little by little. It says that wine and women cause men of understanding to fall away. Even though this ain't just about the woman, it's about getting your affairs in order so that you can keep a disciplined mindset and be well-rounded and grounded.
Can I get this real quick, a precept for you? This is, where's that scripture? I think it's in Corinthians where it says, basically, be as you don't have a wife.
Oh, I was about to get that.
Oh, that's the spirit. Then what is it? 7 and what? And you can't make that up, Ak. Man, that's crazy. 7. It's the 7th chapter.
Yeah, it's the 7th chapter. It's a couple verses up from where I was going to start.
Where should we start?
It's verse 29. And then, because I was going to, 29.
Actually, I'm going to start at 27. I see something there. We'll go down. And what'd you say, the what verse?
To the
29th verse?
To the 33rd
Actually,
verse.
So I was going to say the 31st, but hey. Whew. All right, this is, I'll read it for you, Ak. This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 27. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loosed from a wife? Seek not a wife. You know, I was going to say, basically, look, if you have a wife, don't try to, get a divorce, so to speak, Hey, deal with her accordingly and just keep it, keep it moving. But first and foremost, what comes first? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, okay? Then afterwards, you got to, be a man, handle your business. Deal with your wife, all right, go to work, etc. Deal with your children, all right? It says, and then if you don't have a wife, look, don't seek one, because honestly, as the brother was saying, when you're by yourself, you have more discipline, you're more focused, you don't have distractions, basically. So don't really go, try to go out there and get a woman like that. Let it be like more natural. Don't force the course, as the scriptures talk about. Exactly. Okay, let it be a natural occurring thing. If you get a woman, then so be it. It is what it is, Yeah,
maybe the Lord wanted that woman to be saved through you. That's pretty much where it comes into play. But it says, seek not a wife, man. Because on this side right now, Paul did think things were about to go down at that moment, and that was the righteous spirit to be in. But now we're really in the time where shit's about to go down. So it's no need to continue a lineage on this side. We ain't dying in America and coming back like that.
Salakia, can I correct you though? Paul did knew that there was going to be more to do after that lifetime. It's just he was on a particular mission at that time. That's why he made that statement. And then he was pushing that spiritual advice out there because that word had to get pushed. That word had to get pushed. It had to get preached because what was gonna come very soon. What is it? Was it 70 AD? That whole time period, a lot of persecution was about to happen. So it wasn't time to really be in that lovey-dovey spirit. Okay, we weren't in that time period. We didn't have time to be cuddling with our wives, so to speak. And even in this time period, it's not profitable to be with your wife like that.
Right, a woman complain about not having your time. Well, the thing is, we're married to the Lord first, man. Mm-hmm. We're bound to the Lord first. That's the first love. So, and we're not. The Lord hasn't given us rest in this current time. We're not in a time where we're in our kingdom. So we have to labor even harder. And with that, you don't get to see your wife like that, Because the thing is, we're supposed to be in a spiritual mindset to where you got to be what that woman is gonna need in that time, whether she stays or not. You got to be what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua needs you to be in that time, and even now presently before we see that day approaching, man.
I'm gonna keep reading 1 Corinthians 7 and 28. But and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. Okay, so it's not a sin to be with a woman. Okay, it says, and if virgin marry, she hath not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you.
Exactly. It says, you shall have trouble in the flesh, man. Mm-hmm. And we say I spare you, but I digress because the situation, he can go on and on about it. It's so many different problems that we have experienced and have heard different stories of shit that will happen. Your woman can do you wrong, leave you, take the kids, shit like that, be back and forth. Brothers going through extreme hell don't even know if they wives that they actually dealing with gonna even make it because the way that they do them. And guess what? Paul wrote about it thousands of years ago before we were doing it right now, man.
That's right. It's been going on forever, man. I mean, look at Adam.
Shit, what did you exactly? What did the second Adam say? What did Yahweh Shai say? He said they said it's better that a man not even touch a woman. Not all men can receive this saying, is what he said, man.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's better at this current time to not. If you can really abstain you be better off abstaining. The world tried to make it seem like he was a wuss for not going after a bunch of women. Like that's not what a man is. It doesn't make you a man. It's a bunch of homosexuals. That used to be players back in the world. And then next thing, well, they still in the world, but it was growing up. If you've seen it, it was a bunch of so-called ladies men that used to get all the girls. But then years later, you grow up and then they some homos now. Mm-hmm. So that goes to show you that doesn't make you a man exactly, man. That this the fortitude of keeping this covenant with Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai is what makes you a man.
That's right. I'm gonna keep reading. Verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that had wives be as though they had none. And that's the spirit that you got to be in. Yes, you deal with your wife accordingly. We're not saying don't, spend time with her. Don't. It talks about you got to give her that due benevolence. Okay, it talks about that. But you can't be focused on her like that. You can't be like how these worldly people are, where it's like, they go out of their way for a woman. All right, they go out of their way for their children, etc. Look, our main focus is, pleasing Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, first and foremost, obeying the law, statutes, and commandments, and we're doing what? Teaching, especially us as prophets. Our main job is to do what? Feed the sheep of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai.
Right.
Warn the people. Prophesy unto the people. That's what we're supposed to do. That's our job.
And this is a part of putting your house in order as well, because you know what? According to this world, these people don't really, when it comes to everybody else, they think that they come first and you come last, and that's asinine. And it's not just that you come you come last or anything like that. It's the Lord comes first. We ain't making the moves. So it's like, even with the due benevolence, most women get so upset that they don't get that on their time. It's like, well, fine, I'm gonna just do something else. I don't even want it. I don't even want to spend the time. And then they'll try. You got certain women that ignore you. And if a woman gets like that, well, shit, that's on her. And she made it up in her mind that she was gonna mess herself up and eventually leave, because that's what's gonna happen when you feel like you're not getting the attention. The thing is, if you got a wife, she has to understand that this comes first. Right. And she will get her time, but it just ain't the time. And she got to be patient.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep reading verse 30. And they that weep as though they weep not. And they that rejoice as though they rejoice not. And they that buy as though they possess not. And that's a huge thing, that last part. Look, even if you have some stuff, all right? You got certain brothers that may have a business, all right? May have, home. Look, you got to remember at any moment, this whole system can crash. You can lose anything at any moment. Don't put your heart, mind, and soul into this place. You should be storing your treasures in heaven. Be worried about spiritual and heavenly things. Okay? Not these carnal things. Because look, as it says here in verse 31, and they that use this world is not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. You see, the fashion of this world, the whole structure of it, physically speaking, and also even spiritually and mentally speaking, is going to be destroyed, man. It's not going to stay and stick around, because it talks about, what is that? That 2 Peter's, I think the 3rd chapter. It talks about the works that are therein are going to be burnt up. They're going to be dissolved. Roughly paraphrasing it. Okay?
Let me get this real quick.
All right.
Just land back off you.
Hold on real quick. What do you got?
This is
so I can get it.
Luke chapter 12, verse, I'm going to start at 18. So
Luke 12 and what?
18.
Luke 12. Salakia. Luke 12 and 18, so people can see it.
Kind of Salakia.
And then just 18, or do we need to go down?
I was going to go down to 20.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
So
I got it.
Quick.
Yep, you good to go.
And it says, and he said, this will I do, talking about a foolish man. I will pull down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But the Most High said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall thou lose? Lucky. Then shall those things be which thou hast provided. Lucky. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? Meaning, like, you did all this, and at the end of the day, guess what? You did. You didn't even get to enjoy it. You don't know, So you should have been laying up treasures in heaven, man. Because you know what? Even a woman, a woman is also a good. Children are goods, man. All those things are assets. Those are beautiful, precious things. Your car, that's an asset. These are just little things, that the Lord gave you, to make your life a bit less bitter. But at the same time, his work came first, man. That's you should have been more on his mindset, because you know what? You don't never know when you're going to see Yahweh or when that day of Yahweh is going to come. So it's best to make peace with your maker, man. Like the things the desires that you have in this world, they're really fickle, man.
That's right.
Because at any given moment, you could lose it.
That's right. I'm going to keep reading 1 Corinthians 7:32 now. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong unto the Lord, how he may please the Lord. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife. So pretty much, going back to what the brother was saying about being, basically being a solitude. It's better because you're more focused on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. When you're, involved with these women and having a family, now you got to, juggle things, so to speak. And it's a rough thing. It gets rough at times, So it's not wise to, be, entangled with with the affairs of this life. Okay? It is what it is, But you got to have that discipline. You got to have that balance, okay? All right? And we got to be, can you type in pilgrims real quick? I think it's like in 2nd Ezra.
It is.
What is it, is it the 2nd chapter? Baba Kushak, because I want to get that real quick. And I think probably end it off with that, because we got to get going. But,
yeah, 2nd Ezra 16-40.
All right, 16-40.
Which is
I always thought it was I don't know why I always think it's like the 1st chapter. This is weird. All right,
This is one in 1 Peter 2, basically.
I want to get this one in particular though, in this Salaki. I want to get this one in 2nd Ezra though. This is 2nd Ezra 16-40. O my people, hear my word. Make ye ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And look, we have to mentally and spiritually prepare ourselves, for this great evil day that's coming. Okay? And we have to have that mindset that we're going to be as pilgrims, meaning we're going to be on the move. We're not going to be sitting in one place. Okay? That's why you can't get attached to the things of this world. You cannot. Look, and it's one of those things where it's what is it? What do they call it? It's a harsh reality. You might lose your woman. Like, she literally might get put to death. Your children might get put to death, man.
Hey, well, it says in that 1 Corinthians, I'm gonna just quote it. Where it says, "Oh man, how shall you know that you shall save thy wife?" And it says, "Oh wife, how shall you know if you shall save your husband?" You don't know, man. Because you know what? Especially if they're not fighting for as much of the spirit as you have. Because you got some women that believe, but they don't have husbands that believe at all. So, that's where that scripture comes into play. Not saying that the Lord couldn't do something to it, but, and shit. And they have to basically bestow godly works of doing what the Lord told them to do by honoring their husband. And they still ain't turned around. So they don't know if that man's going to turn around in the time of trouble. But, with going back towards with a man, it says you don't even know if your wife is going to be saved, man. But you know what? This truth is sanctifying your children, though. It's sanctifying them and cleansing them of any sins they did in their past life, so that they may be saved.
I'm gonna keep reading. This is 2nd Ezra 16-41 now. He that selleth, let him be as that one that fleeth away. He that buyeth, as one that will lose. And he that occupieth merchandise, as he that hath no profit by it. And he that buildeth, as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth, as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard, as he that shall not gather the grapes. They that marry, as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not, as the widowers. Okay, so basically it's just telling you, look, be prepared to lose everything. If you're a merchant, you're going to lose your business. All right, if you're a farmer, somebody has, something like that, you're going to lose, your land, your livestock. If you're married, you might not have children. All right, you might not even have a woman or a husband. This is just the reality of what's going to happen. Okay, and this is the mindset that we should be in. Okay, but I'll say this, at the same time, have faith. If you're a man of the Lord, all right, have faith that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to save your household. Because what is that in the book of what is that, Rome? Was that Acts? The book of Acts. Who is that? Man, he escapes my mind. The centurion. That was supposed to be the people think he's a heathen, but he's really not.
Paul. I don't know how. I just forget.
For some reason I can't think of his name. Paul went to him.
I know
he had
Cornelius.
Cornelius. There we go.
I forgot this.
Yeah, hey, man. It is what it is, man. It's just the flesh. But what was said to Cornelius? Basically, since you believed and you were a follower of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, you and your house are going to get saved. So have that faith too that the Lord is going to take care of you and your family, okay? But also have in your mind that, look, they may be a part of the 2/3. Also remember that, okay? That's a balance, All right? But I'm going to keep reading. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 45. And therefore they that labor in vain. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. And look, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have pretty much these heathens, all right, in particular Esau, they're going to come in as a flood and they're going to take your shit, man. That's what's going to happen. So that's why you can't get attached to these things. Verse 47, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more I will be angry with them for their sins, saith the Lord. All right, so that's pretty much it. That was the main point. I don't really got anything else. I don't think we really need to pull out another scripture. But yeah, so hey, Akim, and the few sisters, the Akwath, that do listen. Look, don't get entangled with the affairs of this life. Just remember, it's gonna bypass at some point, and it's coming rapidly too. Okay, things are moving, and just just stay faithful to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, and let no man take your crown, as the scriptures talk about. Remember that. Doesn't matter who it is, yourself, your parents, your woman, your children, whoever it is, do not let them take your crown. Okay? And if they get destroyed on this side, look, what's beautiful is if they're an Israelite, you'll see them in their kingdom, in their right mind, and we're going to be perfect, and we're going to be righteous, and we're not going to ever sin again. And everything's going to be, we're going to have an eternity to spend with them, So just think about that. But that's pretty much it. And, hopefully this was an edifying lesson. And with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash. Also, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to all the brothers out there. Shalom.